Hello, very good afternoon to everyone. This video, I suppose you could class it as a tutorial. Now, I'm no way an expert on this. This is on pin washing Panzers. I'm a wargamer, not a modeler, but I do like to build models. Now, we used to do something similar. I used to do something similar since I was a laddie, but this is really what we got shown. I was at an AK modelling weekend. I think it was 22nd, 23rd of February, just before lockdown, the first lockdown, arranged by Glasgow modelling group that I go to. Great bunch of guys. I think it was a chap, I think his name was Christoph. I thought it was Gustav at first, so I really apologise for that. My bad hearing, I was sitting over the side. So Christoph showed us how to do this, and he was a proper modeller. It was a guy on Facebook has asked me about it, and I meant to do this video a long time ago, and I slipped my mind, went on to Napoleonics and whatnot. I had a few people ask me how to do the pin wash. So as I say, that modelling weekend, the guy was proper modeller. I think I maybe upset him a wee bit. But like kind of lost interest when I told him I was a war gamer. I was looking for ways to do things a wee bit faster, because obviously, when you're working on one kit and we're looking to get through, say, 20 kits. But anyway, guy's advice was sound, and it's worked well. So I'll try and go through what I've been doing. So yeah, first of all, I'd say you need a well ventilated room, because if you're doing it the way we're doing it with the white spirits and a semi-gloss varnish. So first of all, right, so I've done these Panzer 2s, and I've done them in 3 stages, just to show. They were all in the stage of the left hand one, but I've done them. I'll just show you what I'm doing. So first thing is, so you get your model to that stage there. You've done your airbrushing. You put a wee gloss varnish down on areas where you're putting your decals. Get them in place. And then the next thing you do is make sure it's a dust-free environment, and you get a mask on, your gloves, very safe, and you put on a satin coat. Now, I'm going to give my mate Alan a plug, Alan Jameson of AMS Models. Alan, when I went back to the modelling club after years of not doing models, I discovered that my very good friend Alan has started supplying AK and Abteilung and kits and everything. Just a really top bloke, really nice guy before he done it. And I'd never have tried any of these products if it wasn't for Alan. Wouldn't have been at that weekend if it wasn't for Alan either. Wouldn't know any of this. So you get your tanks sprayed with the satin varnish, and they look a bit rubbish. They look shiny toy-like. I mean, they are toys anyway, but you know what I mean. And you leave it to dry. Now, there is another stage that I have missed out on these. I done them on my Russians. Highlight on the high raised areas, like rivets and just higher points. I left it out because I went quite light with these tanks. I'm doing these ones for France, for the first Panzer Division in France, 1940. Whereas these here, now the grey were probably the exact same, but I just didn't want all my tanks just a sea grey. These ones, this Panzer 4 here is done for Barbarossa 41, and I went with the AK Panzer Greys for that. I went with the AK Panzer Greys with these as well, but I put a touch of Prussian blue into, I think it was the mid or the base coat. I think it was both. Just a touch, just to give a blue, like you see in the modelling magazines and that. Totally non-accurate, but I done it anyway. Anyway, so once this is dry, you have been using, again, I take these are AK products, Abteilung 502. So the guys told us to squeeze some onto a bit of cardboard and let it for an hour. Let the oil seep out. can't mind the name of the oil, but the oil nonetheless. So when that's done, sorry about the wee flash on the camera, when that's done, you take some of the oil paint and you put it to you take a mixing brush and you take your white spirit or whatever, odorless white spirit if you can, if it works, I don't know, I just have white spirit about, and you mix it into a muddy wash. Using whatever brushes you want now, and then you do your pin wash. The satin coat has to be, you go around, if you look around that, how rough that looks just now, you go around all your areas. Now, as I say, I'm a war gamer. I get it to that stage there. I would say 3 tanks is the best to do at a time. So once you've got 2 done, you go back to the first one. So I use this little brush here. My mate Gav sent me up. I used it for detailing highlights and eyes and that, but it's a wee bit rougher now, so I use it on the tank to go round all the kind of recess areas and basically into any kind of crevices and everything, and that's what you end up with, and it looks really rough at this point, so I'll pop that out the way. I then take some old brushes, they're quite soft, and you put a wee bit of white spirit on it and then dry it on the a wee bit of good tissue paper or rag, and you start cleaning up. You going round the areas and cleaning up, and you end up with that kind of effect here. Now, if I had highlighted with a lighter grey on the raised surfaces, they would stand out more prominently, but you can see already, now it's still got that satin finish. You see already it's getting tidier. These have got quite low-lying side plates, the foot tread plate on it, so they look a wee bit darker, but that'll all get dusted anyway. So you can see the difference you get straight away. It's actually easier to see it on Russian greens, but so they're the same kit basically, and you see the difference you get. It just picks everything out. Then after that, you would pick out your details. So it's that, as I say, this one at the side, this is ready. This is pre-satin. So if I take this over here, oops, you can see pre-satin, satin, makes it look really garish and toy-like. And then you start to do that. You do your pin wash, cleaning the excess. You're basically just softly catching the excess and pushing it back to the recess. So it looks pretty good. And then, so I'll take these out of the way. I'll need to go into that other tank in a minute. So I'll finish those other 2 today. And then at the end, once you've done that, now paint your tools and everything. I've put wee spots and drag discs. These were highlighted a wee bit lighter than I'd probably like to win. But you can see I've still got to finish these. I've got wee diesel stains to do. But you can see it's a nice finish, you know. All the pin washing certainly brings it out. Best picture I put on Facebook, I think it was a couple of Joseph Stalin's or KV85s, and a pin washed one and the other one wasn't, and you could just see a vast difference. So that's the kind of finish you're looking for. So yeah, you're taking it from that. Sorry, that's your final product. You're taking it from that to that, which is really rough and needs tidied up, to this. And again, I'm no expert. These will look very blue in the camera. They're a kind of grey blue in real life, but on the camera, the light really makes them look blue. Let's see if I can dull it down so you can see what it looks like. But nah, it's not working. So that's basically how you do the pin washing. I hope that's some use to someone, and I'll not need to type it out again. So, as I say, no expert, just bumping through my kits. And Christoph, thanks very much. And the guys at the James and the guys at the Model Club, Rab and that, they're always giving me advice. Brian, you know, I keep on throwing wee messages out. So, just enjoying the modelling, enjoying the hobby. It's nice to do the kits. So, happy modelling, happy wargaming. Bye for now.